So a lot happened this episode. We got the best Lumity thing so far, we got literal divorce, we got a bunch of tension with Belos, and possibly some intensely horrible things happening with Luz getting possessed. I really hope so. And a lot more. Personally, this was one of the best episodes of the series, without a doubt, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Before I gush about everything, if you do enjoy this type of content, consider supporting the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And let's get right into it. So the episode starts out and we get this really creepy scene with Belos and the Collector, and I really enjoyed it because the Collector's animation in this scene was really great. And then Belos comes in with this massive eldritch arm because the Collector is sort of mocking him about, oh, you've eaten so many Palisson, you might not even be a human anymore. And then he just turns into a literal monster. It's just really cool. I really like when Belos has that weird sort of demonic form that he can turn into. I think it looks really sick, and seeing him use it out of anger and not just, uncontrollably using it was really cool. And I hope so much that in the next episode, I assume there will be a battle with Belos and Luz, that is in it a lot more, because I think that would be really sick. But the main reason that the scene is put into the episode is to show that Belos still wants to get rid of Hunter, because Hunter is seen as too much of a threat, he might know too much, or possibly getting Hunter back in order to ensure that this Day of Unity sort of ritual can work, because we don't know how exactly we need Hunter, but we know we do for some reason. Or unless we need Luz, and Luz could be the person, I don't know. That could be really cool, I'm just saying. I'm going to be rambling about this a lot more at the end, but if you know, you know. Now, for the actual episode, we cut back to the cats, and a lot of really cool stuff happens. We see that the Coven heads have thought of a plan that involves Ida specifically because of her ability to use her curse to make magic not really work and destroy magic. Darius, Everwolf, and Rain all know about this because they saw Ida do it firsthand. So having that be part of their strategy makes perfect sense to me, and I'm really happy this is the case. I don't know how exactly Ida's going to do this, if she has a sigil and all this stuff, but we'll just have to wait and see. We also get this really great scene where Ida actually finally gets to see what exactly Luz's talisman is, and it's an egg. So this is something I really didn't expect. A lot of people were theorizing, oh, it's going to be a bat, it's going to be an otter, it's going to be something really off the wall. But seeing that it's an egg and Luz sort of has the idea of, oh, it can grow into anything it wants to be, I think is really cool, and it has the potential to be an animal that's just not real, which I think would be really cool. Obviously, a lot of the animals in this world are already super weird and magical, but maybe it would be a bat-otter fusion thing, who knows? I think it's a really cool way to add some more surprise factor to this, and it'll probably get revealed next episode, but it will still be incredibly satisfying, so I don't care. What really got to me was right after, when they try to come back in, get everyone ready for the plan, and going to the Day of Unity itself, and Luz gives Rain this really stern face and says, you better keep Ida safe. It was so just awesome, and I really liked it, and it goes to show how much Luz cares for Ida, when obviously Rain cares a lot about Ida as well. It was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. So I expected this to be a very Amity focused episode based on the promo images, which had her father's goggles and the mom's little necklace thingy. So I kind of expected it to just be a Luz Amity episode, you know what I mean? But we actually get to have Willow, Gus, and Hunter in this episode, and I'm like, oh yes! Because it's like Amity's entire friend and support group. Hunter is there, but like, you know what I mean. Her entire support group is coming to help save her from her mom. Really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. And then we get the Lumity scene that everyone has been waiting for. It was so cute. Like the little flower patio thing, Luz staring up at the balcony. It was just, the buildup was all there. Amity had this whole little speech to herself, like, what would Luz say? What would Luz say? And it was so great. And then after she's done rambling to herself, Luz comes in the patio saying, I probably would say that. And it was just, yeah, there's so much little build up to this amazing moment we've been waiting so long for. And it felt very earned. And especially right after, how Luz is like so embarrassed, like, oh, why did I say that? Why did I say that? And Amity's also really embarrassed, like, I can't believe I just did that. It was perfect. I really, really loved the first ever kiss of Lumity. Super fire, and I'm very happy that it came about in such a, awkward yet endearing way, because that's basically their entire relationship so far. It's very real and uncomfortable and awkward, and that's what makes it so real. As a part of the plan, Ida is essentially going to go undercover as Rain, as a Coven head, during the Day of Unity draining spell. And because of her curse, all the magic from the Day of Unity draining spell will be cursed as well and deemed ineffective. However, the one thing Ida has to do in order to, really pose as Rain is to get a Bard sigil. What makes it work so well is the fact she's getting a sigil to save the people she cares about. She's trying to save Luz, Rain, King, everyone. Literally everyone in the Boiling Isles. And I don't know. I just think that shows a lot of growth from the Ida that we've seen at the start of the series up till now. And I really, really like it. But because of the cliffhanger they had at the end, I'm not even sure if Ida even got the sigil, which is kind of driving me crazy because we never really got a confirmation of her arm. So I just really, really am curious of how exactly this is going down. So another mystery I'm really focusing on is the whole idea of King getting these little ramblings from the Collector somehow coming to his mind. Obviously, the Titans and the Collector have a lot of connective tissue with each other in the past, but I'm curious, what exactly is King hearing? Is King hearing things from the Collector from hundreds of years ago, or is this just the Collector's thoughts at the moment and they're actually just connected in some way? I don't know. I think if this Luz possession theory does actually come true, it'd be really cool if we get an episode of Luz, or maybe not an episode, but a scene or two, or maybe some things throughout the last 3 episodes of the series of Luz inside the Collector's mind, seeing all the things that went down and how exactly the Collector feels about these things. Because 1, it would be really cool to see, and 2, it'd be a nice through line throughout the show, because season 1, they were in Willow's mind, 2, they were in Belos, and 3, they would be in the Collector. I think it would be really, really cool, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna be straight up, the absolute MVP of this episode was Alador, because oh my god, the growth, the absolute determination to make sure his family is better and that he is a better father, absolute king shit. Like, this dude, the growth, and the fact he was talking to a character literally named King, it further proves my point. Alador, he's done being some sort of lackey in the basement. He wants to be an active father. He wants to be in the know about everything going on. He doesn't want to be out of the loop anymore because Odalia just doesn't tell him anything. He wants to be someone his kids can not only trust, but rely on and feel comfortable around. And you know what? I just really, really love the growth of this character. And the fact that he was willing to destroy his entire livelihood, everything he's built up, everything he's wanted to do since he was a little kid, just because he found out, oh, the world's in danger, the Emperor's evil, we're all gonna die. And somehow Odalia didn't really care about that because she didn't think the Emperor was evil, but Alador switched up immediately, like, alright, time to stop everything. Legend. Now, don't get me wrong, Odalia always rubbed me the wrong way because she seemed very, very in her own head and not really empathetic towards other people. But, oh my god, just the growth of Alador and him actually being like a good person is amazing. And the fact he's even helping Amity and all the friends help save Luz at the Day of Unity, so awesome. And I just, honestly, I don't know if I like him over the Darius turnaround, but this turnaround is so immensely satisfying. Probably because we saw a little build-up and reaching out, but it was so great, and I am very, very happy to see Odalia kind of suffer in her own sort of hubris, and having Alador just be this king. I'm gonna help my kids. I'm gonna stop Belos from being evil. Legend. So, Alador, absolute king. Something that I've really liked this episode is Kikimora actually finally coming back into the story, because I was really hoping for her to be sort of more relevant, but this sort of demotion feels a lot more satisfying because it makes her desperation to try and capture Hunter and sort of reclaim her position in the Empire all the more realistic and satisfying. Plus, it's out of a sort of petty revenge thing because, you know, obviously Hunter was the annoying brat that she always had to deal with when she was in a high position. Now he's out of there, she's out of there. It just feels like this is her last chance to really reclaim her sort of status in the Empire. And her just having this entire sort of mini storyline in this episode was really, really cool. And especially with the way the episode ended, and I really, really liked it. So I'm very glad that she returned in this episode, and her addition made it a lot better. So Alador learns that the Day of Unity is a whole sham from King, and there's a really nice conversation between the two, which I talked about a bit earlier. You know, some King behavior, not gonna lie. And we get to see a massive sort of fight between him and Odalia, saying that he had no idea, he's so out of the loop, and she knew the whole time, but just can't realize how evil Belos actually is, and doesn't even want to try and believe her kids who are trying to tell her the truth. So they have a fight. It's really awesome. It's really great. And it basically crumbles the entire family dynamic of the Blights, where she was always in charge, but now she just leaves. And Amity and her dad are going to work together to, you know, save the entire world. It's awesome. I really love it. But there's a lot I want to talk about in the fight itself. I like the idea that her oracle powers not only are a way to manipulate people by inserting her thoughts into it, I like the idea that she could sort of create these ghostly sort of apparition things that go through people and allow her to do whatever she wants. It's very fitting with her character, so I really like the way her abilities work. I thought it was really, really cool. I also really like the idea that even though they're telling her that the world is going to end and everyone's in danger, she's so just out of it that she can't even like hear any of it. She's so focused on profits and everything surrounding the business that she would rather focus on that stuff rather than her actual family and the people that she's supposed to care about. I think her character is really interesting, honestly, and even though she wasn't very likable, I'm going to put huge air quotes around likable since she's obviously an antagonistic figure in the story. I just like other villains more, not going to lie. I think she's interesting, and I think her not growing is a really, really good direction for her character to go. I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious to see what happens with her in the remaining episodes, if we do see her, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm excited to see where we go. During the final scuffle, we see that Luz and Hunter have actually switched bodies using Gus's illusion magic. I thought this was a really, really great usage of Kikimora being added back into the story, because obviously Kikimora is after Hunter, so if Luz disguises as Hunter, then Kikimora would only focus on Luz in the long run. I thought it was really, really great and a cool way to separate Luz from her friends and reunite her with Ida and everyone else. Honestly, I'm really worried for her, like really worried, because they need a third person, and Hunter's not going to be there as the third person, so Luz could be the third person. I don't know. This whole possession theory is really cool to me, and I'm hoping it happens. I would love it if it does, but it's also really scary because Luz could like not be herself anymore, and that could be something we have to wait until the end of the show to see. I don't know. A lot of tension going on, especially with the ending and the entire credit sequence just being her heading towards the head of the Titan. A lot of tension, a lot of tension, and it's kind of crazy. Honestly, I really, really love this episode. It's probably one of my favorites in the entire series, with all the insane things that happen, the great character moments, and just the build up to the absolute insanity that's going to be the Day of Unity. So that's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode as well. And if you enjoyed this video, consider supporting the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Take care and have a good one.